Hello, people, and welcome back to the Nerd Talk podcast. Today, we're going to be counting down our favorite movies of, well, not favorite movies, favorite comic book movies of 2016 and talking about some other stuff. We do have some stuff that Danny suggested we talk about. We got Foggy, Karen, Electra Stick, and Misty returning for Defenders, which I'm
not watching that.
Why?
Misty? Nope. No, thank you.
It's I'm well.
I don't want to watch the person with the most retarded power in all of cinema do anything.
She wasn't in cinema though, so rip.
And the TV universe, whatever you call it, and
yeah, she's on TV.
Marvel.
She's on Netflix, not in the cinema. But
whatever you want to call it.
I'm excited for Stick. I'm excited for Electra. I'm excited for Foggy. I like Karen's all right, and then Misty I don't care about at all because we talked about this before. Luke Cage is basically, you had a lot of people who really wanted to make a Misty Knight show, but were told they had to make a Luke Cage show, so they're like, okay. And we got Young Justice Season 3 announced, which I want to do a future episode on talking about Young Justice Season 1 too, but Ian
she still
doesn't
has the
watch
most
the show.
useless power. What's her power? Oh, I can see a crime scene. Well, she has to be told exactly what happened in the crime scene for her to see it. So stupid.
But yeah, if I can get Ian to watch Young Justice Season 1 too, because they're both on Netflix and they're really good and they're short seasons. They're only like 13 episodes, something like that. I think they're something like that. They're really short seasons, I believe, but they're really good. I enjoyed Young Justice seasons 1 and 2. Can't wait for season 3. I don't know if it's premiering on Cartoon Network or if Netflix is doing it or what. I didn't really look into it that much. I just saw Young Justice season 3 and I'm excited. And Ian will watch it. I'll get him to. I'll make him watch it.
Young Justice is so bad.
You never watch. You watched like part of one episode. No, you didn't.
And it was like, I don't care about those characters.
Oh my gosh, you just complain.
The only character I care about is Robin.
Yeah, that's the thing. You watch like the first part, the first episode, and you're like, Aqualad's the leader. I'm done, and then you just left. That's all you did.
I watched the episode where they fought the Justice League and they beat the Justice League. Like, how retarded was that? Like, just no.
Ian, that's like jumping in halfway through Fargo. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the larger story, and you don't know what's going on.
Justice League.
You have not started from scratch. You gotta start from the beginning and watch all the way through, and you don't even know what happened. Because if you know what happened, who was the one that caused them to fight?
I don't remember.
Exactly. You didn't watch it. You watched that fight and that was it. See, you know no context of anything. I do. My only problem with mind control and everything stuff like that is the fact that Batman is completely useless under mind control. Because the thing about Batman is the fact that he knows so much and he knows how to fight and he's the best detective. If you're mind controlling him, that's essentially putting your mind in his body. So it's basically being in an Olympian's body. That's useless. Like, why would you? Like, no one cared. That's completely useless. Like, mind controlling Batman is the stupidest thing you could ever do, unless you're just trying to take him out of a fight. That's why I think, Steve. That's why, to me, whenever Batman gets mind control, Robin should have been able to beat him in 2 seconds. Because that's literally just some idiot in Batman's body. We're going to watch it. Again, like, I just asked you for context. You knew nothing. I really enjoyed Young Justice. Not my favorite show,
it's a show really about, instead of calling it Teen Titans, they call it Young Justice because they got to be different.
No, because that's what the comics were called. There was a series of Young Justice comics. Anyways,
I don't care about a bunch of sidekick losers.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, we also got the Punishers and Defenders set photos, which I saw a few of them. I'm excited for Punisher. Not much to talk about there. You also asked if we talk about Arrow Season 5. Not right now. I've watched 2 episodes. I watched episode 2 and 3, which I both enjoyed, actually. Arrow's getting good again. Ian hasn't watched it at all.
Nope.
I didn't watch episode 1 because it was not on the CW
I
app.
hung on to Arrow longer than Dylan did, and then I couldn't take it.
It's because I worked like every Wednesday, so I was just like, yep, I'm not.
Yeah, but I still hung on to it, and it was just so bad. Like, it was just...
Because it was so bad that it wasn't worth me just, like, waiting to watch it, because I worked every Wednesday, so I was like, yeah, I don't feel like putting the effort in to go and watch it. So but Arrow Season 5 has been good so far. I'm excited for more, and we might talk about that on a future episode, or I'll make a video on it. I don't know. Now, moving on to the best comic book movies of 2016. Now, we're gonna... do you want to go by, like, 5 to 1, or do you want to go by, like, the order they released, or how do you want to do it?
Just go from, we had Apocalypse, Deadpool, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad,
Civil War.
Doctor Strange. All right, let's just go 6 to 1 since there were 6.
Oh yeah, 6. I forgot.
6 to 1. Yeah.
6
to
you want to go 6 to 1? Okay, number
right,
6.
You go first. You go first.
Well, I think our number 6 is the same. Suicide Squad.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I want to say this. Have you watched any of the
Which
Ian? Have you watched any of the extended scenes?
No, I read the description of how like he beats the crap out of her in the extended cut, and it sounded a lot better.
I watched
the
like most of
relationship.
them on YouTube, but I did not see one where he like beat the crap out of her, which I was disappointed.
I heard
in.
there's like one where he's like shocking the crap out of her, and then like she
Oh, yeah,
rides
that-
the motorcycle to catch up,
Yeah.
to him.
That's
be like,
that stuff happened.
I passed every trial.
It was it was a really good scene too, though. Like that scene, and they have it was a really good scene. I like Jared Leto's Joker in the scene. The line is great as well. She's like, "My heart scares you, and a gun doesn't," because she takes a gun, and, like points it at his head.
Yeah, doesn't he
and
like
he does-
taunt her to kill him?
Yeah.
Like doesn't he like taunt her?
At first he's like,
That's what I wanted from their relationship, but they
Yeah,
wanted
so
to
did I.
romanticize it because everyone liked Harley, and they didn't want to show, oh, a woman getting abused. We can't do it in this day and age. That's her character. That's the relationship.
Exactly.
You gotta. That's why so many people are pissed off about. That's why the relationship in the movie. Like I was reading someone I was reading wrote about the scenes, and they were completely pissed off with the Joker. Like they called him a lovesick puppy in the movie, which he really was.
yeah,
Like
pretty
he
much.
was really bad, but they hated the version of the Joker because of how they made him. And it's true.
I know,
That's
and it's
how
not
the-
Jared Leto's
she's
fault
just-
at all.
No, it's not. It's like they were like, oh well, a lot of people like Harley. We can't make Harley get abused because we'll have all these women's civil rights on us. So we gotta make them be in love with each other. That's not their relationship. It's never been their
know,
relationship.
Mad
Joker
Love-
just uses her.
Mad
The
Love
only
is one of the
person-
best episodes of Batman the Animated Series. People love it. And then in this, like, because all that talk was the fact that David Ayers shot a lot of scenes and stuff, and the original thing was the fact that he treats her like trash, like he does in Batman the Animated Series and the comics. But then they edited it differently because they knew it would trigger so many people to see this. All the the fake Harley fans who knew nothing about her, but were like, "Hey, I saw the trailer and that looks cool. I'm gonna dress up as her for Halloween." All those people, and so they decided to be like, "Oh, they're the king and queen of Gotham," when that's not how it is at all. And yeah, it was so stupid. And the scene was really good. Like, I wanted to see more of that Jared Leto Joker. Like, she points a gun at his head, and he just puts on some random southern accent. He's like, "Don't hurt me, I'll be your friend." And then he's like, Do it. Like 2 seconds later, and he's like, "I love this Joker." He's like completely nuts. That
was
scene was
just
the best scene. And it
stupid.
wasn't in the movie. And that line was the best line. Wasn't in the movie. It's so retarded.
Because they
Because
had
of
to
WB.
romanticize the relationship. It's just like in the movie. Well, you gotta think that's them cutting that out of the movie is an overcapitalization of the whole movie itself. They tried so hard in the movie to make the bad guys look good instead of just making the bad guys bad.
Which is completely different than what everyone wanted to see. Everyone even though you still have the DC fanboys are like, "Best movie ever." If you like the movie, that's fine. That's whatever. But
No, it's
my
not.
thing
You're
is,
a
what
terrible person.
what we all wanted to see, at least what I wanted to see, was the bad guys. Like we
Yeah,
all
you gotta see. This is supposed to be watching the bad guys be bad, and you go like, okay,
do something the heroes can't.
Yeah, I would say killing, but we already saw Batman's got no quarrels with that. So
Men are good.
I don't know what we were really expecting, because like, I mean like, I heard though the deleted scenes didn't really like add anything about like the villain or anything. I heard like that was just
From
pretty
what
bad
I
the whole
watched,
way.
which I think I watched every single scene on YouTube, someone put together was like 12-minute compilation.
Yeah, it was
of,
11
like, all
minutes
of
and, like,
them.
37. So,
And
yeah.
it was, it didn't add anything about the villain. That's the thing. Even
So,
with
like,
these scenes, it wouldn't change anything. But also, that's not all the scenes. Jared Leto said he filmed enough for a Joker movie. Even if
Well,
he's
I don't know about
over-exaggerating,
both.
even if he over-exaggerated, I think there's at least, like, 30 minutes, at least, total
The
of, like,
problem
more
is that,
Joker
like,
stuff that we could have. But they
if
gave
you
us,
have
like,
another
12.
movie with Jared Leto's Joker, you can't like just have him all of a sudden in the next movie just beating the crap out of her. You can't have it, because this like that would just like completely change his character, because we already saw in this movie he didn't want to hurt Harley after she became Harley. He was all about getting her back. Like he wasn't just trying to use her like he does in the comics. Like he was legitimately, he wasn't himself without her.
Yeah. And it was
And
just-
so
Okay.
now it's
Moving on from the
I mean,
Joker
that's
and
not even
Harley
counting
stuff.
the pathetic Will Smith performance or stupid
Well,
Captain.
Will
I love
Smith
Captain
did what he is paid to do, which was play Will Smith, and he does a good job at playing Will Smith. The problem is that's not
Captain
Deadshot.
Boomerang doing his one Captain Boomerang, and then the weird retarded
Oh yeah,
fight
throwing
at the
one
end between.
boomerang. Hold on, but that's
two
my problem.
fire
The action in this
creatures.
movie is just like the action in
The
Arrow
most
season 4. It's just like
generic
hold on.
action.
It's like the action in Arrow season 4. It's action for the sake of action, and it's so dumb, and there's no point to it, and there's nothing behind it. There's no emotion or anything behind it. It's just like you don't feel
Not even
anything.
that.
You watch it, and it's
not
just
even-
it's
it's
like
not
okay.
even cool action.
That's
It's
what I'm
generic.
saying. That's what
It's
I'm
just
saying. That's why I said it's the same as Action Arrow Season 4. There's nothing behind it at all. It's crappy looking action that isn't entertaining at all. It's not like in other movies where I'll specifically search up a fight scene from a superhero movie on YouTube just to watch it. I'll never do that with Suicide Squad because the fight scenes are so bad. Why are you blowing on
he's
your
on the
mic?
car with his hand wrist and he's shooting the zombies as they come past, and it's so cool.
With his hand wrist? What's a hand wrist?
With his hand, what do you call those? His hand,
His wrist guns?
Yeah, his wrist guns,
We
yeah.
just call it wrist guns, so they're not his hand wrist. But
I mean, wasn't that so cool? Where he's just like on top of the car, everyone's just watching him, and it's like, oh my gosh, he's shooting lifeless zombies that are running past him. How amazing!
I can't think of like one action scene that I really enjoyed in the movie. I will say this though, like I said when I reviewed it, it's really good up until the first action scene. I really like the introduction of all the characters and everything. That stuff really well done. And then once we get to the first action scene, it's awful from then on.
How about two fire creatures fighting? You didn't think that was a pretty good
Oh,
action?
the CGI one wasn't a fire creature. It was just the CGI fight was so stupid and did not belong in this movie at all. The villain was awful. Harley to me didn't seem crazy at all. She seemed like a normal person that just pretended to be crazy because of the situation she was in. Like she seemed like she could be sane whenever she wanted to. It didn't seem like she was crazy at all. And they made you be like, okay, the bad guys aren't actually that bad. Waller and her people are way worse. It's like, what? That's a highlight, though. Amanda Waller is great in this movie. Viola Davis does a fantastic job, and she does it effortlessly, too, because the Amanda Waller on the CW, thank God they killed her, she was so bad in trying, she tried so hard to, pull off this tough Amanda Waller, and she just couldn't do it. She's she's so bad at pulling off. I've seen her in other stuff, and she's not bad, but as that role, she's awful. Viola Davis, perfect as Amanda Waller. Nailed it.
About Suicide
Also,
Squad.
Batman was really good in it. For the few parts he was like the best part, especially when he just punches Harley Quinn in the face.
By far and away the best part of that movie.
Ben Affleck, I can't wait for his movie. But yeah, Suicide Squad, worst comic book movie of the year. Really bad. Next, number 5, I think it's going to be the same for both of us. Batman v Superman. Am I right there? Or do you have another one?
Yeah. I was trying to remember if there's any other worse movies. I was like, no, it's Batman v Superman. Which I thought for sure when I watched Batman vs Superman that I was gonna put as my worst comic book movie. So that just tells you that Suicide Squad did a number to replace it.
Yeah,
I was sure when I came out of that theater the second time I was like, okay, there's no way a movie can be worse than that. There's no way a comic book movie can be worse than that.
I agree.
And then Suicide Squad, especially because Suicide Squad was exalted as this is the savior of the DCEU. This is going to bring. This is a movie everyone wants to say. This could be dark and gritty, and it's gonna be action packed, and everyone's gonna love it. The performance is gonna be great, and Jared Leto could get an Oscar. And then you watch it, and you're like, oh my gosh, Batman vs Superman at least had a warehouse fight scene that was cool. Like that's what you can say. Even like the CGI fest at the end of it, where it just looks so stupid, and Superman literally dies for no reason. You want to talk about an anticlimactic death?
But by the way,
what happens if you take Lois Lane out of that movie? Like, Superman literally doesn't know what to do. His character's probably a lot more interesting, but he literally doesn't know what to do in that movie if you take Lois Lane out of that movie.
Well, one thing I want to say, going into the theater, I was super excited, a little quelled by the fact that all the reviews sucked, and I was like, that's fine. All the Man of Steel reviews sucked. Everyone said if you like Man of Steel, you'll like this. I was super excited. This beginning of the movie that starts off with Bruce and Metropolis as on Superman fighting, I'm like, they're all wrong. This movie's amazing. I can't wait to see what happens next. This is so cool. And then after that, the movie drops off a cliff. After that Bruce and Metropolis scene drops off a cliff. It's so bad after that.
Well, it hits just like a really bad stalemate of pumping you with this stupid information that nobody wants, and then you have the Batman just murdering people in his Batmobile. That was a shock. When he pulls that car around and just throws it out the other one.
Because there was that whole controversy from everyone where he clearly snaps a guy's neck in the trailer, but everyone's like, oh, but the suit, the toy of that Batman is called Nightmare Batman, so that's just a dream, and then he's murdering people in real life. It's like, oh, well, in real life in the movie.
With how everyone got so upset about Superman killed Zod, Batman does it nonchalantly. Batman is just I've been doing this so long, don't and that's another stupid thing. Batman learns at the end of the movie, men he's been doing this for forever. At the end of the movie, he's like, men are good. I shouldn't be killing men. One dude killed a monster for no reason. Anyone else could have gone up there and done that, pretty much.
Well, yeah, all they needed was the spear.
And you're gonna sit there and change your whole opinion off that because you guys said the mother has the same name as yours, and you went and saved his mother.
Okay,
Like
I hate the Martha thing because it's stupid, but there is a reason behind it. I think the
Still a
reason,
stupid
I think,
reason.
yes, it's a stupid reason, but there's a reason. It's not just because they have the same name.
I'll say this: I think a lot more of the concepts of Batman vs Superman are a lot cooler than the concepts in Suicide Squad. Like I think the concept for Suicide Squad was look at all these characters, we can put them together. Comic book is awesome, and then the concept ends there because they have no idea what else to do with the rest of the movie. Because like you said, it's just generic, boring action the whole movie. A Batman vs Superman, at least you had like Batman kills people. Okay, how does he handle that? It was terribly executed, but you had like cool concepts that no one could like Superman not being able to see the bomb. You know, cool concept, but then they just handle it in the stupidest way possible. You know, like I thought it had cool concepts. They couldn't execute. Like, or I feel like Suicide Squad, all their concepts were just. It'd be so cool to have a bunch of villains, and then it ends there.
What if they were all good and better than the good guys?
Okay, there's two concepts.
Also, no, the thing is, they show you the Flash in that movie. There's a giant blue light in the sky.
He's a pretty good part of the movie too.
Like,
Flash is a pretty good part.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's like, what?
I gotta admit, for the record, I'm actually starting to get excited for Ezra Miller as Flash. I think he's gonna do a really good job now. Like,
I think partially the reason I'm getting more excited is because I hate Grant Gustin so much as Flash.
Probably. Like Ezra Miller, like everything I've heard about like him and Fantastic Beasts is he's amazing and all this other stuff. I know he was a good actor, but the one thing I like about him is you can actually see he's actually trying to change to look more like Barry, even though they're not giving him the blonde hair. Like you can see
he
that
chopped
he's
his hair off and he got big. Yeah.
He got big.
Unlike
So
Grant Gustin,
like,
every time someone mentions how skinny he is, just cusses him out on Twitter like, "Screw you, man." It's like, oh my gosh.
So, but yeah, Batman vs Superman. The one thing that makes Batman vs Superman good is the Batman warehouse fight scene. That's it. That's the one thing because Batman's in there, he's kicking ass, and it's fun.
There's
to watch.
other good stuff, like Alfred's awesome. The Batmobile chase scene where he murders a bunch of people's cool.
I mean, not when you
There's
realize
like
this is Batman, he doesn't
one
kill people.
Yeah, but if you're just throwing that out the window and you just think it's Frank Miller like Murderverse Batman, when he didn't murder people per se, but in All-Star Batman Robin he does a good number on some cops. Anyways, if you just throw that stuff out the window, it's cool watching that chase. There was hope during that Batman v Superman fight that Superman might not be a complete moron because of the part. It's a really cool scene. It's the best part of that fight, and the rest of the fight is complete garbage. Where the kryptonite wears off, and Batman just punch him in the face, and slowly he realizing he's like, "Oh no, it wore off," and Superman's just like, "It's not affecting," and Superman just looks at him. And was like, that part's cool. Rest of the fight, complete garbage.
Well,
it took like 2 hours to get there. And the fight lasts like 5 minutes. And the thing is, it's like
reloads his
when that happened,
and
me and you talked about this afterwards. We talked about the fact that during the fight, we were like, oh, maybe Superman actually might win. Because it's like, oh, he wouldn't be dumb enough to get hit by kryptonite again. He knows to get rid of that weapon, right? Nope. And then I made a whole video breaking down the fight, talking about how stupid it was. Yeah.
The one thing I don't understand, okay, I just saw about this now. You know, he catches the grenade the first time, right? And it takes like what? I don't remember the exact, like 3 to 5 seconds to go off, right? Like he catches it, looks at it, and then it goes off, right?
I guess, yeah.
The second one explodes immediately.
Probably because there was no impact on the first one. He caught it. There's no the tip did not impact. No, the tip did not impact. It's like an explosive tip, I'm assuming, and the tip did not impact on anything. He caught it. He caught it around. He didn't catch it on the front. He caught it around to where the second time it hits him.
It was still retarded.
I just think it's funny how he does like the slowest, like Batman's in final stand mode without sleight of hand, and he's doing the slowest reload possible, and Superman just sits there staring at him, and everyone's like,
I'm ready to get over this. So did you watch the video? Did you watch the video of that cross country runner getting destroyed by that deer?
No. Why are you even bringing that up?
Because I just saw it when I was looking up stuff for the one of the ads. Like this cross country runner gets destroyed by a deer. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it. But sorry, go ahead.
I honestly don't care. Anyways, Batman v Superman is number 5. Terrible movie. The warehouse fight scene was amazing.
Best part.
Yeah, and Alfred was really dope. But besides that, the movie's pretty stupid. Now, number 4 for me is gonna be Doctor Strange. I don't know about for you though. What's your number 4?
You know, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Apocalypse, and Deadpool. Civil War.
Oh, you like Doctor Strange better than Civil War?
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers for Doctor Strange. We didn't give spoiler alerts for every other movie because I'm sorry, it's kind of your fault if you haven't seen those yet. Like those have been
Oh,
out
yeah.
for a while and everything. Suicide Squad's like just now coming out on digital and everything, but Doctor Strange is still in theaters, so spoilers for that. We will be covering spoilers, so I understand if you haven't seen Doctor Strange. Everything else, I'm sorry, that's kind of your fault. It's like it's been too long. So yeah, why is Civil War your number 4?
I mean, I like Civil War, but for Civil War for me, just had too much of the same stuff.
And
Like,
Doctor Strange didn't. It was literally the same
it did,
formula.
but Doctor Strange. Hold up. Let me just go ahead.
Okay.
So I went to Civil War and I'm watching it, and like after you watch it the first time, the airport fight scene isn't near as cool after you see it the first time. It's like the first Avengers and the fact that
I'd
once you
argue
watch
it's better the second time because the airport
argue
fight
it's not
scene
as
to
good.
me was like probably the worst bit of the movie because the action's really cool, but the like emotion there is
There's
none
none.
because you have like 4 people taking the fight seriously and the rest are like friends sparring. And so the first time, because I'd heard the fight scene was so amazing and I was excited for it, then it happened.
The
I was
best
like,
scene in a comic book movie. That's what everyone calls it.
yeah,
The best
everyone
scene in
was
a comic
freaking out
movie.
about it. And I was like, but this is supposed to be Civil War, and like everyone's kind of friends, just lightly slapping each other. Like
Yeah.
Hawkeye when
So the
they're like,
airport
"You're
fight
holding
scene was
back,"
good.
and then
There
so the
was
second
ways-
time, knowing what I was getting into, I was like, "Okay, I'm fine with like since I know what I'm getting into, I can just sit back and enjoy this fight scene." And I enjoyed the airport fight scene more the second
Like
time.
I really like. I love the part. Well, I know. I hate like the movie because the movie opens up. It opens up like where, like in like South Africa or something, right? Or somewhere over there, right?
Yeah, where
and
they're
like
fighting crossbones.
And they save all these people lives, right? But some people
All the
die,
people alive.
and they're like, "This is ridiculous. You can't have the Avengers going around doing this stuff." And it's the same old BS rhetoric I've heard from the movies for forever. That part made me sick. Then you have a UN summit where literally Black Panther wants to kill somebody. Like Black Panther, like I don't know if he said
They killed his
like, he
father.
wants-
Ant, did you
Yeah,
miss the part where they killed his
yeah,
father because they killed his
yeah.
father? I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
that
like,
part.
really
It wasn't
weird.
just
Like,
they go to the UN summit and I want
Hold
to
up.
murder some people.
But,
It's
like they kill
my
his
father
father
got-
like really awkwardly. Like his father dies, but he's jumping in the blast and he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
get like hurt at all. Like, okay,
because his
So he
father was
doesn't
an
really-
old man.
Black Panther took no damage. Like
No, he was bleeding after that.
a little bit, like on his face, but he wasn't hurt at all. Like his dad legit like just died on the spot. Like
Because his dad's like
um,
60.
so then like it was pretty obvious it wasn't Bucky, but of course it has to be
Oh yeah,
Bucky.
everyone
God,
knew.
the villain was absolutely terrible,
Oh, villain was awful. Yeah,
atrociously bad.
but
you're thinking the
so
whole
was the
time,
villain in
how-
Doctor Strange.
You're trying to think, well, how are they gonna get these guys to fight? It was Bucky. Oh, got him, boys, got him. They're gonna fight because they think it was Bucky.
No,
So
no,
this
no,
happens-
not because they think it's Bucky. Because Bucky literally killed Iron Man's dad. That's why they fought. Well, his dad and his mom.
I'm talking about the airport fight scene.
The airport fight. Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, man. So they go there and they're like, I'm trying to keep them together. And I really hated the whole, you guys are acting without proper authority, blah blah. They're saving lives.
Yeah,
they're
but
trying to make sure.
I don't agree with Iron Man, but I see where he's come from because he's screwed up so much that he's like, yeah, we need some supervision. I'm on
think
Team
stupid.
Freedom.
I've
I'm on
heard
Cap's
so many,
side.
I've heard so many movies that I'm kind of sick of it. Like, oh well, we can't do this without their authority. It was stupid. Like
What
Captain
other
America
movies
said,
have
I'm
you
gonna
heard
do
it
this.
in? If you've heard it so much.
Well, like Man of Steel. Look at all the collateral damage they caused.
That
It's
wasn't-
ridiculous. So stupid.
When were they like, you have to operate under this or this?
No, but it's the whole idea of, oh, you're causing so much collateral damage. You're not very good. You're not helping us at all.
That
Like,
idea
no,
is
it's
gonna be
stupid.
around forever.
What do you think's gonna happen if they let Zod go loose, or if they let all these crossbones go loose? More people are gonna die. But no, they're too damn stupid to figure that out. So, anywho, that happens.
Because
Airport fight scene.
they're afraid of these random people with powers. There's this chick that literally goes by Scarlet Witch. She calls herself a witch, and then
yeah,
she
but you know
kills
what?
a bunch
you
of
got Captain
people.
America on your side. You got you got a lot of people on your side defending you.
So
just
I
let
don't
them do
agree
their
with
thing.
them, but I understand where they're coming from. And you're just like,
No, I
well,
mean,
they're in the universe and not looking outside. You expect them to have the same perspective you do since you're in the outside looking in. But you realize they're characters
listen,
in a movie.
if I was in a world where I have Iron Man, Thor, all these people defending me, I'm not gonna sit there and tell them what to do. I'm gonna be like, if something happens, I want them to be there immediately to help me out. Besides, like you can admit
So,
this.
oh, you're gonna listen to
Well-
Iron Man when Iron Man says they need supervision? Okay, argument done.
No,
You just
I
said if
say,
I have
no,
Iron Man, I'm listening to him. There you go.
No, I'm not gonna sit there and have someone I'm not gonna go up to them and be like, "You got the supervision. We need to tell you what to do and when to do it and where you can and can't go." I'm not gonna do that. If I was in the government, I wouldn't do that.
Hey, Ian.
Because
Ian, if you're the government, and suddenly something more powerful than a nuke comes around, and you don't have control of it. What are you gonna do? You'd be like, "Well, this ain't looking too great. This could be bad. Like, what if that Hulk guy?"
So you're gonna risk making them mad and screwing up because you're too worried about policy. That's what they're worried about. They're worried about policy. No, I don't care. Let them do their thing because they're trying to save lives and do the right thing. I had a really good thing to say, and you made me forget what I was gonna say.
Because you said listen to Iron Man. Iron Man said,
"No, I would
listen to the government."
That's only because they brought it up to them. That's only because what was it? The Secretary of State or the Secretary
That's
of
the
Defense
thing.
came up with
You
this
think
line.
everyone in the movie should have your point of view, and so the movie's bad because of it. That's so
No,
retarded.
it's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing. They care more about policy.
Ian,
How
do
many
you know
people would
stupid
die-
people
Hold on,
exist in
how
real
many
life?
people would- How many people would have died in that opening scene if the Avengers weren't there to save them?
I don't know. I don't even remember honestly what they're trying to do in the opening scene. I haven't seen Civil
I mean,
War
we
since
didn't
theater.
know until like basically this movie.
Do you remember what they're trying to do in the opening scene? We saw it twice in theaters, and I haven't seen it since.
They went to go get the gas. Remember, they were getting gas for some reason. I think they were going to gas the city or blow the city up. Yeah, you're right. Though that was a really. I don't even remember what they were doing.
That's what I'm saying.
If you hadn't watched Daredevil and you just watched this movie, this would be the first time you learned that people die in New York. Because like in New York, like in the Avengers, no one died, right? Like when you watch a movie, you don't see anyone dying. Am I right? Like you
Yeah.
don't know anyone got hurt.
Everyone gets
This is the
saved.
first movie where all of a sudden you're like, all these people, and I thought it was really stupid how Iron Man, what do you call it? Decides to like change because one woman comes up to him and says, "My son died because of what you did." You know how many people he saved when he did that? There's gonna be casualties, but you know how many more people that died? They would let Ultron do whatever he wanted.
But you gotta
like,
realize that's the type of person Iron Man, Tony Stark is, though. That's why he can. That's the thing. Cap is a soldier and realizes that. Iron Man is this guy who's been pampered his whole life and doesn't realize that. That's why he's gone through so much since the beginning to now.
I mean,
Because
that no
he's
one
not
else can
a soldier. He's not. He's like one
See.
person.
Yeah,
died,
Rhodey's a
man.
soldier,
Yeah, doesn't matter.
and he can't see it. He
Rhodey,
can't see
but
it.
Rhodey's a government guy too.
So
Rhodey's like, yeah, I think it would be a good idea for us to act under the jurisdiction of the U.S.
I think it's
or
stupid because
Shield
more
or whatever.
people. I think it's stupid because more people would die. Like you look at the Ultron thing.
That's
if
the
they let
thing.
that
You're
island go
arguing.
up-
Hold on. I'm not. Listen. I agree with Cap. I think what they're doing is stupid. But again, there are people with stupid point of views in real life.
Yes, and I think
That's
it's
what you're
stupid
not
in
real.
the
And you
movie.
think everyone
I
should
think
have
it's
your
stupid.
same point of view. Otherwise,
I
this
think-
movie's stupid.
No,
That's
I
what's
think it's
retarded
stupid
about
to
your
have that
argument.
point No, I think it's stupid for them to have that argument in the movie where it's clear in all these cases more people would if they would have waited for authorization to act in New York, how many more people would have died? If they would have waited for authorization to act in what was it? I don't know. I can't remember the name of the fake country. What was it like something Kastan or something with Ultron? They would have more people would have died. You can't sit like it's a stupid argument to make. Look what happened in real life in Benghazi. They waited for authorization. And what happened to the 4 Americans? They got
And Ian,
killed.
Ian, there are still people trying to argue about Benghazi. See what I mean? In real life, there are stupid
it's
people.
stupid. And I
Exactly,
think it's
though. Those stupid people exist, and that's what you don't get.
I get
you
that it
don't
exists,
get-
but I think it's a
So you're saying they just
concept to
can't exist in movies, even though they exist in real life, and you just pointed it out for yourself.
To
Your
have-
argument's done there. You just pointed
have
out those
Iron
people are
Man-
there in real life.
To have Iron Man, to have Rhodey, to have Black Widow originally. Who else is on his side? To have Vision, of all people, have Vision.
That's
We should
because
be able to
Vision
see-
is Jarvis. He's Iron Man's creation.
But he's an independent thinker. He doesn't listen to what do you call it. He's honorable. He's worthy of lift of the hammer. Like he should be able to see that more than anyone else. So I think those were like I don't mind Spider-Man being on his side because Spider-Man doesn't know better. He's a kid.
So you think you're just saying in the Marvel universe, stupid people shouldn't exist? Okay, I get your
No,
argument.
I'm saying these heroes.
Well,
all
hold on,
these
we're done
heroes
with this
think-
argument because you just pointed it out yourself, and then you're going. It doesn't make any sense, and you just can't see past it.
All
So,
these characters.
tell me why
all the
Doctor
characters-
Strange is better.
All these characters can't see that what they do is better than having to wait and have more people die.
How
No,
long do you think it takes to make a phone call, Ian?
Have you seen how long it takes real policy and real authorization to happen? Have you seen that in the real world? It takes forever because it's all about policy and BS.
Yeah, I said I agree with you, but as you yourself pointed out, these idiots exist in real life, so they can exist in movies too. That's the point I'm trying to make, is the fact that these stupid people exist
Yeah,
in
I'm
real
not
life.
saying the government part. I'm talking about all the heroes that
You think
chose
every
that
single hero
side.
should be good? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Why should every single hero have the same exact point of view?
No, but then Iron Man changed it halfway through the movie. Like that was what did he change his point of view for? What caused him to change it?
Because he realized who the bad guy was, and the fact that he was trying, like, what was going on there. He realized, like, that dude's plan until he kind of got blindsided by the fact that Bucky killed his parents.
So his whole so what made him to say, "Oh, we don't need supervision"? What changed it? What changed him in the movie to say we don't need supervision?
He never said that. He was helping them stop that one dude.
Because he was against him the whole time up until then.
I know, because they didn't know that guy was there. They thought Bucky did it, remember? Remember, they thought Bucky did it. That's why they're like,
Yeah.
we need to act under supervision, because they thought Bucky did it. So why is Doctor Strange better, considering it is a completely generic cookie-cutter Marvel movie as well?
Okay.
It follows the
Not
exact Marvel
completely.
formula. The only difference
Yeah,
is the
there's-
fact that
there's
it's
too much humor.
magic.
There's too much humor in it. Like
Just like
in
every other
Civil
Marvel
War.
movie. Civil War had the
I-
least humor since Disney took over.
I don't know about that.
So besides the airport fight scene, where's their like unplaced humor? Like, well, not unplaced. It's weird. Humor that is in the wrong like situation should not humor should not be there. Besides the airport fight scene, there's not a
I don't
scene.
remember. I don't remember the movie well enough to tell you that right now.
The
Like you
airport
said, I
fight
can't
scene is the
remember.
only part. That's the part where there's ill place, I guess is what I say. Humor, like humor where it's like that doesn't make sense. Why would you be cracking a joke there? Like for characters that are not known for cracking
yeah,
jokes. For
I
Hawkeye
like
or
the
Spider-Man
Doctor
makes
Strange
sense.
I like the character. I like the character of Stephen Strange. Like I like when he looked at Rachel McAdams and he's like, "What's my life could consist of? You." Like I like how like he's a terrible like person, and he's not like.
But Ian, terrible people don't exist, and so I
he
don't like it.
seems
Terrible
like-
people are not real, so Doctor Strange bad. Boom.
He seems like
There's
he's
my
legit,
argument.
like he's like a complete a-hole, and he's not just like a complete like.
Yeah, never seen
like,
that
like,
before. Tony Stark.
He's not the same as he's meaner than Tony Stark was. Tony Stark was like mean and like a how do you say
Charismatic.
that word? Charismatic. I can't say it. Yeah, that word.
Charismatic.
Way. And this guy's not. He's just an a-hole to be an a-hole. Like he's terrible. And then he goes and
He had
the
one
CGI
scene where he was an a-hole, and that was because of the fact that his hands got broken and no one could fix them. That's
not
the
just
only.
that he was a
That was
he a jerk
that was
to the
it.
one
That
guy
was the only scene. That's the only reason.
He was a jerk to the guy in the hospital when he was talking to her. He was talking about how terrible.
Yeah,
the
and
guy
he was a charismatic jerk. That's when he was cracking jokes and stuff. That's when he was literally Tony Stark. There was only one scene, and I'll
I
give it to you,
think
which was
so.
the scene where he's like, "I don't want you in my life" or whatever. Like that's the only scene where he's legitimately being
I will
a
give
like
you though,
mean person.
when he got, I thought it was really weird because I thought like he joke when he makes fun of people. I feel like he's doing it to like demean them, not just like to joke about. Like I feel like when he's trying to when he's like making fun of the one guy when he's walking with her about the guy that's not as good as him, that surgeon. Like I feel like he's doing it to like get under his skin, like to like because he really hates the guy. And then when he goes over to where was it, Nepal? Is that where they were at?
I don't remember.
He's like totally turns into like the Tony Stark type where he's making like he's cracking jokes trying to get people to laugh. I thought that was stupid how they changed him like that. Like there wasn't as much magic I was hoping for. The cape was hilarious. The cape of levitation or whatever.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. The villain wasn't that good, yeah, but I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I liked how he had to learn to fail. Like I did like that part. I like that they killed the ancient one and that she stayed dead. You gotta admit, that's something they normally don't do in Marvel movies. That is something they don't normally do. The only one that did that in was Iron Man 1, and that wasn't
Yeah,
a
where
Disney
they killed
movie.
his buddy in the cave.
Yeah, so
What's that? Who
so
has
you
died
gotta
that
get-
hasn't come back to life besides besides
gotta-
Iron Man 1 and Doctor Strange?
you gotta give Doctor Strange that.
I
They
do.
had
I
to
do.
cr-
Like I said, I like Doctor Strange. I just don't think it's anywhere. I don't think
If
it's
they would
better
have
than
killed
Civil War.
Rhodey, even though it was so
'Cause
predictable because of the trailer,
yeah, yeah,
it would have been. It would have had weight.
Oh.
When they let him, he's fine. All his
Ian,
legs are broken.
They killed the ancient one. Did you have any emotional connection at all? Were you like, oh no, I didn't want her to die, or were you just like,
Not
whatever?
really, but I was relieved the fact they actually killed someone.
See,
they
that,
killed a character that was
shouldn't be how you feel though. When it happened, I was like,
That's-
oh, Marvel finally killed someone. I wasn't like, no, not this character I really like died.
It's not my fault. The Marvel is a universe now. You have to judge the movies in the universe because there's so much connected to it. Like,
All I'm saying is, I felt more emotion towards like the Bucky Cap connection. I really like that. Like their
did you
relationship in
feel
the
any
movie's great.
emotion? Did you feel any
When
emotion
Peggy
when Rhodey
died?
got
No.
shot out of the sky? when Rhodey got shot of the sky.
No, because I was like, he'll be fine.
So
it's
I thought it was
Marvel.
good.
And
Like,
also,
I agree,
if it was Iron Man
wasn't
1 Rhodey, yes, I would be really sad. But since it's
agree there
Don
wasn't
Cheadle Rhodey, I'm like, honestly, I don't really care
I
about
agree
you,
there
bro.
wasn't much emotion when she died, but like she was a semi-important character. They could have done a better job with it, but the fact that they actually killed someone that was close to him felt good because like you needed something. I thought they should have left Wong dead longer. I thought that would have been good. They would have left him dead longer, like let you think he's not gonna live. But I really like the way the Marvel ended because it was a silly ending.
Doctor
It
Strange.
was a silly but it was a silly but clever ending. It wasn't like did you retarded Guardians of the Galaxy ending where
dance battle,
a billion people are about to die if the guy lets down his hammer and you challenge the guy to a dance battle and that's what you think's gonna save the city. Like, this like he understands what he has to do and he's like, you know, I think it's kind of stupid with the whole like no one else tried to get the books off the shelf or anything like that. I think I can't remember his name. His friend, is it Mordor or what's his friend's name? The guy that turns bad.
Mordo, I think.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be a good villain because
Yeah,
like,
I liked his character in the movie.
He actually had like what do you call it? Like a rapport with him. They were
Like I
pretty
said,
cool together. You know,
him
he's a
and
whole
Doctor Strange. Well, him and Stephen Strange had a good emotional scene, which is partially why I really like Civil War. And when they were talking about killing, like they had a good emotional scene with no tension breaks, no jokes, which is also what we had between, like at the very end, that final fight scene in Civil War. There was so much emotion. Not that much emotion have I seen since like Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I agree. That was
Civil
great.
War. That final fight.
And then it gets ruined 10 minutes later.
The cell phone saying TTYL,
yes,
bro.
It gets ruined by that. That's why I can't give that scene that much. Because you're right. When you watch it, it's great. You're like, oh man, you know, you really feel like these two people just hate each other now. And then that happens. And it's like
the thing is, they're saying
Kevin Feige couldn't handle it. He was like crying. He couldn't handle it. So he had to make sure they were friends at the end of it.
They're not friends though. That's what the Russo brothers were saying because we had a bunch of people saying
they're
what we're saying.
basically friends.
And yeah, because he wrote the movie. But the Russo brothers were saying they're saying in the future movies that's going to affect how their relationship is. They're not going to be buddies. It's just, hey, if the world's about to explode, we should probably put our differences aside and fight together. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more of what it is instead of, hey man, let's call me if you want to go to brunch sometime. Okay. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's more of, yeah, if there happens to be a purple guy with a gauntlet that can do literally anything, maybe we should team up, put our differences aside. You know, Bucky killed your mom and dad and all that, but we should probably put our differences aside and help save the world. I think it's more of that thing, and that's what the Russo's brothers were saying. I do think it's stupid. I wish they would have left it more as like I do think it had too clean of an ending with him breaking everyone out of jail, and him being like, hey, here's a phone to call me.
The one question I have with Doctor Strange is how
it broke the formula for Marvel. To where Doctor Strange was a complete cookie cutter Marvel movie. I still liked it.
No,
but it
killed somebody. It killed somebody. Don't call it. It killed someone.
Yeah, someone no one cares about at all. Anthony and Ant-Man dying was sadder.
That was really sad.
Exactly. Anthony dying was more sad than the Ancient One.
Sad.
And the Ancient One is a person. So that's pretty bad right there. But I like the emotion in Civil War. The fight scenes were really great.
I wish I would have had more scenes of him training in Doctor Strange, like him like doing that. I actually would have done that.
Okay, now let's move on to our number 3 pick, which to me 3 and 2 are interchangeable. With the fact that I would say my number 3 is probably X-Men Apocalypse.
What's 2? Civil
Aren't
War?
we? But yeah, 2 Civil War. What's your number 3?
It'd be Doctor Strange. So we just went over those.
Oh, yeah. And my number 2, well, my number 3 is X-Men Apocalypse. So let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse, and your number 2 is X-Men Apocalypse. My number 3 is X-Men Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse, I thought was really good, but is another rehash of the X-Men formula. That getting tired, but not as tired as the Marvel formula, even though it's been around longer, because of the fact that we're getting Marvel like every single year. That's why we're getting more sick of the Marvel formula, because of the fact that it's, hey, same thing every year.
The thing about this
X-Men's
is
like same thing every few years. So it's like, okay,
when
give
I
me
ask,
some space.
It's
to
like
breathe.
when I ask of Rogue One. All I ask of Rogue One is give me one scene of Darth Vader wrecking house. I have other conditions too, but if I get one scene of Darth Vader wrecking house, I'll be content with the movie. Unless like at the end of the day he gets like beat by like Jen Erso or something, then I'll be pissed. But if you just give me one scene of Darth Vader wrecking house, I'll be content with the movie. I also have other conditions like I want all the cast dying and stuff like that. Well, the characters.
Not the cast. That'd be pretty.
Not
bad.
the actual cast. The cast of characters dying. Like with X-Men Apocalypse, you could just say, "Oh, I want a good Wolverine scene." You got two. You got a great Wolverine scene, and you got a great Quicksilver scene.
Yeah.
You know, and that almost makes the movie worth it right there. Just watching those two, and you have Michael Fassbender kicking ass as Magneto. Like,
I wanted to see more of him. He was great.
Yeah, if you have problems with the structure and the CGI at the end of it, which you can, you have plenty right to have that because there are some issues with that. Those two scenes and Michael Fassbender make that movie more than watchable. You watching, you're like, dang.
Also,
like,
to me, it's tied with HX for having the best villain of this year. Not saying much because the villains this year weren't too great, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't give him enough chance to be a good villain.
He was legitimately scary, though.
Yes.
Like, you did not want to be in the same room as that guy.
I wish they would have killed the character, though. Like, I do wish they would have killed the character. I'll admit that.
Well, seriously, if you kill Jennifer Lawrence Mystique right there, that's great. But instead, nope.
They should have killed the character. That'd been much better.
Should have killed Mystique. Jennifer Lawrence wants nothing to do with the X-Men universe anymore, even though every report's like, she might come back. It's like, no, she's not. They're just saying.
But Nightcrawler did better than I thought he was going to do. Like, all the young cast did pretty good.
Cast did great.
I will say, though, having watched Game of Thrones now, I feel like Sophia Turner was a little stale as Jean Grey. Like, I feel like her acting in Game of Thrones is much better than what she put in X-Men.
Probably like she didn't have too much to do in X-Men. Probably.
Yeah, I feel like she's a little.
I thought she did good.
Stale.
I thought she did good.
But I really love that movie. Like, I can watch that movie and be like, okay, this is pretty cool.
That's the movie I've seen the second most times for this year.
Apocalypse is a much better villain than any of the other. He's the most scary villain. I'll say that. Like, he's the like when you say who do you fear the most as a villain, you would say
of this year,
Apocalypse. You'd say Apocalypse. I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't just all disintegrate them.
This is probably my favorite cast of all of them.
Yeah, the cast is really good.
I love the cast of the Marvel movies, like Cap and Winter Soldier are great.
All the characters in the Marvel almost seem like they're interchangeable.
Not Cap though. That's the thing. Cap is different, and that's why I love Cap so much. But
like Bruce Banner and Thor and Iron Man, they seem like they're all like okay.
Well, and the fact that they're all charming people that make jokes.
Yeah, like there's like not very much difference in personality between them.
But there is between Cap, and that's what I really liked about Civil War was seeing how Cap acted and everything, and seeing like that true Captain America on the big screen. Seeing a comic book accurate Captain America was awesome, and I loved that. And yeah, but anyways, X-Men Apocalypse really good. I really liked. I saw like a lot of people did not care for it in the reviews, but I thought it was really good. Michael Fassbender, like. That's the thing. The emotion they had. We had like 5 minutes total of his family, and I was sad when his family died.
Because Michael Fassbender gets 130% every single time he's on the screen.
I was legitimately sad when his family died. I was like, no, I felt sorry. Like he started tearing up. He takes that necklace and murders all of them.
That was great. I love it. Do you think they could do that in a Marvel movie, Dylan? You think they could have like, oh no,
it seems like they pushed the PG-13 rating in this movie. You have Wolverine killing a bunch of people. You have Magneto sending that necklace through a bunch of people's throats. Like as far as violence goes,
that was beautiful.
That was some stuff.
Shocker is number one.
And also, like we said, Quicksilver and Wolverine scenes are amazing. Number one, Deadpool. Obviously, I already made a video on this.
I think my favorite young superhero is gotta be Quicksilver because I mean he's so great. And the one thing I thought...
We'll go back to that later. Let's talk about Deadpool right now. We're going to go back because we're going to go through some other stuff.
What I was going to say, Deadpool is just great. The only issue I have with Deadpool is when you rewatch it, his origin's pretty boring. That's my only problem with Deadpool. I love Deadpool besides that.
I agree with that.
You said, the villain could be better, but he's better than Marvel villains and he's serviceable. So
Ed Skrein does a great job, and what I loved about him is the fact that
but he didn't have much to do. Like they didn't give him much.
Every time he fights Deadpool, he destroys him. He kicks the crap out of him every time they fight.
That's what you can do with Deadpool, but
no other superhero movie can you say, oh yeah, every single time the villain and the hero fought, they got besides like Spider-Man 2, because Dr. Octopus kind of kicked the crap out of Spider-Man the second time, the third time because they fought like.
Every time?
Yeah, pretty much every time. Because Dr. Octopus gave up at the end. Because he gave up at the end, Dr. Octopus. So it's kind of a draw at the end. But up until then, he just gets destroyed by freaking, even in Even against Green Goblin, the first one, he gets destroyed, and then Green Goblin kills
I'm
himself.
just like scared for Deadpool 2 now.
Same Raimi Spider-Man. The more I think about it, he wasn't very good at fighting.
No, he wasn't.
He couldn't have got this. Besides when he
But
destroys
like,
Sandman.
it was like Deadpool was great. It was hilarious. It was funny. It had
It was
good action.
It was comic accurate. The cast was great. Ryan Reynolds was born to play this character. Is what we.
The only issue I had, like I said, was the second watching, which is not a fault of the film because it has to give you the origin. The origin is a little boring the second time, but that's not the film's fault.
Also,
I had to give it to you.
Has the best like romance of any superhero movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I just scared now. The second one.
We'll see how it
all
goes.
These people leaving. It's scaring me with how all these things are leaving. But it was just a fun, hilarious movie. I was trying to think if there's anything that didn't really work for me.
My thing also is it had heart as well.
Yeah,
which is something you don't see in a lot of
the
other
best part about
movies.
it probably was the fact that it wasn't a world-ending story.
Yeah,
it was
a contained story. I love that. It was
he's
personal
going
to
to get
Deadpool.
Colossus to fight. What do you call it? I thought it was pretty stupid. Colossus lost to her. I thought that was really stupid. But
that's because he's a gentleman. I thought that was great. Like showing that's the reason he lost. Because he was
like
kicking,
him always
kicking the crap
his
out of her
guns.
up to. Yeah, they had to do that because of budget too, which is so great.
It was just great.
That first fight scene on the bridge where he has like 11 bullets or whatever, and he has to count each time, and he misses a couple shots, and then the one dude like shoots one up his butt, and so he shoots that guy like 5 times. It's like stupid Deadpool, worth it.
It's
like
good. It was
it's
great.
so accurate to the character of Deadpool. I
can't
love
say
that.
anything. That's all I can say. It was fantastic. It was weird to think it was this year that it came out.
Yeah,
because
it came out in February, which is really early.
I mean, I can't really say
highest
anything besides
grossing R-rated movie.
The only negative thing I can say about that is the origin's boring the second time you watch it. Like you're just waiting for him to get past that.
Which is with most superhero origins as well.
Yeah. Going back to the Quicksilver.
Hold on. We're going to a segment here, and then we're going to get to Quicksilver. So, we have we're gonna be counting down first best moment in a comic book in the comic book movies of this year. What's your favorite moment?
We're doing top 5 or just doing our favorite moment.
We're doing we're just gonna do our favorite moment.
Like,
so
when you say moment, you mean like a scene or like?
Well, we're gonna do favorite moment and then favorite Well, actually, that's hard to say. I guess we'll do sort of like favorite. Well, let's start off with favorite action scene. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Wolverine fight.
All right, if you're going with Wolverine, I'll just go with Quicksilver to be different.
Can you call that an action scene? Because he's not fighting anyone. Like action happens, but he's not fighting anyone.
All right, then I'll go with the Deadpool montage.
The Deadpool montage was great. Yeah. The bridge fight, but that Wolverine fight scene was so awesome.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Batman versus Superman fight.
Hey, no, the Batman warehouse fight was awesome.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'll put that one in there. I like that better actually, because that fight, just on pure action, that fight was awesome.
Besides, I thought it was kind of stupid how Batman point blank gets shot in the back of the head, though.
Yeah, I thought
that's like my only problem with that fight. Yeah. And Batman murdering people, but if you get past that, cool.
That was a terrifically directed scene.
Yeah, Zack Snyder did amazing with that.
Ass. I'll go with that action scene.
Yeah, it was awesome, and again, the Wolverine fight scene.
But Bryan Singer does an amazing job with the Wolverine one too. Like that scene's awesome.
That's what we always wanted to see. Granted, it was a little censored because obviously they can't show you him stabbing people constantly. So that's why they did some good job with the camera work.
Today.
It was great. Most memorable line, would you say? From a comic movie this year. Can you think of one?
You were my friend, Tony. He was my friend, Tony. So was I. No, Martha.
I like that. All I can think is like Deadpool. There's so many lines. Like
you know what line sticks out to me when you ask like the first line I think of? It's not my favorite. You know the first line I think of?
Everyone fears the T-Rex.
No.
Everybody fears the T-Rex.
That was so fantastic. No, you know what stuck out to me the most? What I think of? Not my favorite. You know what I think of the most?
What?
Would you die for me? Oh no, that's too easy. Would you live for me?
So bad. I saw so many people praising that line too. I thought that's
what I think of. I'm like, oh man, that line is so bad.
Well, I think of just like so many lines from Deadpool. Like, do you have an off switch? Yeah, it's right next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch? Colossus just knocks the crap out of him. Like, gosh, there's so many. Deadpool has so many great lines.
I think my favorite line in the comic movie this year is like language. Suck a cock. I think that's my favorite line. It was just so raw and so like Deadpool. He's like language. He's just like suck a cock. Or was it suck a dick? It was one of those two. But that was probably my favorite line. I was trying to think of a Magneto line, but I can't remember what he says to Charles. Like,
It probably wasn't that memorable.
you could pick anything from Magneto though, because he's so good.
Yeah, it was just overall. I feel like Deadpool had like the most memorable lines of this year. And then, yeah, so let's talk about that Quicksilver scenes. Do you want to talk about it so bad?
I was just gonna say, what I like what Apocalypse did that a lot of other movies don't do, like with Civil War, where Scarlet Witch comes out of nowhere and like is baby like is managing the fight, like not hurting anyone, you know, like she could completely take over the fight, right? You know.
Oh yeah, I know.
Apocalypse, Quicksilver goes up against Apocalypse. Like, you're like, oh, why doesn't Quicksilver just fight him? And he goes and fights him, and then he gets stopped in his own element. Like, it's not like how Flash just goes full on a retard when he fights someone that's not a speedster. Quicksilver didn't go full retard. Quicksilver did what he does to everybody else. He went and started beating the crap out of Apocalypse, and Apocalypse beat him because he could like slow down time, or he could like, I don't know, his mind was fast enough to see where he was running and stuff. And I like that about it. I like the fact that you weren't like, oh, why don't we just let Quicksilver go take go deal with him, you know?
And that Quicksilver scene was just great. I'm trying to think what they're gonna do next for Quicksilver, because you hope it doesn't get stale. Because
are made
the kitchen scene in Days of Future Past is like my favorite scene in that movie, and then the scene in this topped it. Like the mansion just topped it. It's so great too, because it comes out of nowhere. You're like, why are we focusing on this bee?
Yeah,
what's this bee doing? And then he's just holding a Twinkie and he just drops it.
But it just steps down. You're like, oh snap!
Also, that had a death as well with Scott's brother dying.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Which also was a little emotional, because like, I know you didn't really care, but I love First Class. I think it's one of the best X-Men movies. Ian doesn't care for it too much, and I really liked his character in First Class, so there is a bit of an emotional connection when they kill him. Unlike oh my gosh, unlike Superman, to where the fact that they just.
Oh my gosh. The worst part about that is, too, they did a Marvel. They couldn't leave him dead. They couldn't leave it on, like, will he come back, will he not? They had to show the dirt rising. Like, come on.
That's the thing. They kill him and bring him back in the same movie. That's a big part of also what made it not emotional, was the fact that they kill him and bring him back in the same movie.
Captain America and Iron Man. Like, they shouldn't have been talking at the end of the day. He should not have sent them that message. It should have been, they don't even want to talk to each other, is what it should have been.
I thought you were talking about Captain America showing up in Iron Man. I was like, when did that happen? I don't remember that.
No. Like, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. Next time, I don't know what we'll talk about. Figure it out. But yeah.
Rogue One. Oh, what'd you think of the latest Rogue One trailer?
It was really good. The new international one.
That looks pretty good. It looks sick.
Yeah. So, anyways, let me know in the comments below or on Twitter at @the_RCBG. What were your favorite comic movies of this year? The top 6. If you saw all 6, what'd you think of them? How would you rank them? And anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.